Hey, what's happening, everybody? Music Therapy Laz here. Going solo. Yeah, that's right. I am here alone today. I got started really late and I sent messages out to everyone. They're like, that's too late for me, which is totally okay. I don't get a chance to do this just mano y mucho mano as you guys, like many of you, just us, the chatsters and Laz on the Music is Therapy show. And I thought I'd do part two, as I mentioned last time, too. We didn't really have enough time to go into all the stuff that there is to go into with Jason Becker, or about Jason Becker. I mean, what an inspiration. So we'll talk some more. I want to, answer some more of your questions about that, talk a little bit more about ALS and what an amazing feat it's been, a journey of sorts for he and his family and friends. But let's first say hi to everyone in the chat. What do you guys say? Frank Corcoran there. And, popped right in after him there. We've got Blackjack Guitar. What's up? Chatsters and Laz. What's up, Frank? It's been a while. Nice to see you in here. Bay Area Rich. I guess we're getting raided by the Charles crowd, right? I always miss Charles's show now because he's like right before my show, and that's good. I can always rewatch it. That's what's great about YouTube, right? And why is on my feed, it looks like I'm very blurry. Let me look on YouTube here. See how does it look? Does it look really good to you guys? Is it supposed to be 740? I guess not just it's HD, so it's not like 1080p. You got to pay extra on StreamYard for that, and I'm going to probably be dropping StreamYard altogether because or just going to the free service, which may be why this is like this, because I've already adjusted to I'm not paying for the monthly insane amount of money that they want to just have a guest or two on, and I'm not going to do it. So we'll see how this works going into the future. I don't think my subscription is up until early December though. But let's see. Yeah, it looks a little bit on the fuzzier side on my phone too. Let me see. Looking at it here. There we are. Very bright. Yeah, Sean Hawk, what's up? Leiden, right? But we can see you pretty good. Okay, you can see me pretty good. All right. On my screen, it looks a little fuzzy, but that's all right. It is what it is. And yeah, everyone's saying hi. A little blurry, Laz. See? Yeah, see, that's what I thought. See if I move real fast. You have to do that sound, when you go. Anyway, try not to be too silly on this show, but we get a little silly sometimes. Yeah, right on. So Charles had a great interview, it looks like. I got to go check that out. I didn't even see who it was. Laz likes to build a suspense. Yeah, it's more like trying to get ready on a Sunday morning. I'm glad that Charles took that 9 o'clock spot, because 9 o'clock was even harder for me to pull off. And I was doing that because that way we'd have time to go out and do things, during the day. I don't get stuck here like till noon, which sometimes happens. Noon for me in California. Yeah, searching for tone. You rock, dude. Yeah, everybody else is saying hi to each other. My knees hurt. Giving a big howdy to all the folks out there. And we got Matt Stewart, Eddie Faye, fun show with Charles and Randy. Right on. And then Michael B saying hi to Charles 75 and sent me, he says, first, he says, into the chat, going to grab lunch with the family. Right on, dude. Yeah, we got to get you back in on the show and tell us how things are going with what you're up to, right? But you can see pretty good, but I'm kind of fuzzy, right? It looks like my beard is like melting. It's fuzzy. It's like an acid trip. Oh, yeah. We've talked about that on this show, microdosing and other, things people do to affect their perspective on reality, right? And get a different perception of reality as well, right? Really good stuff. Sometimes, be careful if you're going to go into that stuff. Be prepared for what you're getting into if you're going to do any of that thing. I did do an ayahuasca journey when I was in the Amazon jungle on one of my birthdays. I think I was 55 that year. 53. Yeah, my sweetie turned 50. I turned 53. 53. As a matter of fact, Jason Becker turned 55 this year. Is that amazing or what? about 3 or so. How many months ago? Anyway, it's a little ways back. So I think he's a June or July baby. Let's see what time. When is he born? When was Jason Becker born? Yeah, July 22nd, 1969. Summer of love, peace and love, right? Time surfing alien. What's up, dude? Roadies, Jan Cave. Oops, I tried to click on you and then it went right back to the guy. What's up, dude? So, and time surfing alien could, might be just an alien. So there may not even be gender involved there. You too in a month. Your birthday's coming, or are you doing acid or ayahuasca in a month? Anyway, whichever it is, I'm sure you're gonna have a great time. But be prepared. Have your intentions set, because like my sweetie had her intentions to face her fears in life, and she's been doing that all her life, And I'm like, honey, maybe try to push fear off to the side here, and maybe just ignore the fear, ignore your mind telling you things, and just say, hey, it's going to be all right. And I'm going to, oh, you're going to turn 55, right on. I'm going to turn 59 this next June. Unbelievable. I don't believe it. If it wasn't for this gray beard and my old looking face, I wouldn't believe it, because I don't feel like I'm going to be 60 in another 2 years. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe it's just the attitude that I have in life, or maybe it's just that nowadays, we don't look at age in the same way we might have in the past. I don't allow it. I'm gonna be not a youngster, because I've gotten a much more mature and wise over my days and years and months and whatever decades. Right on time. Time surfing alien is gonna be 59 in May. Right on, dude. My brother John's birthday's in May. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Well, I think the attitude thing has everything to do with it. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life, and that's why I wanted to talk about Jason Becker again. Look at that sexy devil there. Look at the sexiest man alive. Why is that not? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! We're on. Oh, that's why this. Okay. Now we're gonna watch this. We're gonna fix this camera problem real quick. How about that? It was using the wrong camera. It was using, instead of this one, it was using the one on the computer. So no wonder it sucked. Anyway, so here we go. Jason Becker, the sexiest man alive. Look at that guy. There we go. Look at that. You sexy man, you. It won't focus. Oh, almost there. Come on, focus. I gotta hold it with two hands. Hold on. I gotta get like a tripod. Come on, you can do it. Hold on. I'm not prepared to do this stuff correctly. Come on. All right, I think it's just too bright, right? Take the brightness down. Maybe that'll help, right? Let's do that. All right, let's do that. Just so you guys see what Jason Becker looks like, because some of you guys don't even know who Jason Becker is. I sure didn't. Come on. Focus. There he is. There he is. All right. I did actually get to meet Jason Becker last weekend, was it? But not in person. So, long story short, let me take a sip of my coffee. Long story short. Oh, by the way, know thy gear. Love Phil McKnight. Phil, you rock. Anyway, so I got to meet him through a FaceTime kind of thing. So wish you guys could kind of see my eyes. See my one eye is kind of going in like that. That's because I have strabismus. It's a lazy eye condition. You know what? How do I get this so it's not on my? It's not gonna. No matter what I do, you have to look down like this. Anyway, it's gonna be shining on me apparently. Or you know what? I can control that. I can turn that down, right? Turn it. It's not really making much of a difference though, is it? Tiny bit. That works. See, now it's not as much. There you go. Rock Daddy also in the house. What's up, dude? Yeah. Yeah, man. Right on. You'll be 69, dude. Look at you in April. Right on, dude. Rocking it till the grave is what I say. I actually have this crazy dream. One of my crazy dream ideas in life would be to have an old folks home. That basically the tagline on it or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be rock you into the grave, because we're going to have rock and roll music, and we're going to have music at that place all the time, because that's what keeps you young and that keeps you feeling good. And just having really low, no sounds, but just people, machines beeping. I mean, what kind of last moments of life is that? That's how my dad went out. It's not the way I want to go out. I'd rather jump off a cliff than be in one of those places like that. Anyway, they seem like nice people and all, but yeah, it's just not the way I want to go. I want to go out with a guitar in my hand or my fingers on the piano keyboard, something like that, right? Yeah, right on. Saying cheers. Yeah, just step in. Right on, Lewis. Did you get your package? Let me know. Tell me, did you get it? I sent it. I think you already told us, right? Didn't you get it? Anyway, I sent him a little, he won something. And then my buddy Mike Wood also won. Is it Wood or Woods? Mike Woods or Mike Wood? I think it's Mike Wood, right? I think you got, you're getting something. I think Johnny Bean, if I don't meet up with you, Johnny Bean will meet up with you, or I'll send it, or he'll send it. He'll send it. And then Janice is going to get her package this week. I actually put it together mostly. I just have to. And then there's another one going. It's another one or two going out to some people this week. And then our buddy Ryan Hall is getting that thing in the mail. Merry Christmas to him. So we made it. We're making a deal. He's going to make a deal with me on that, because I'm going to get rid of some of my gear, because I just don't have any more room. I mean, it's nuts. It's crazy. There's no room in here. Like Johnny said, there's so much crap in here. I gotta get rid of some of the stuff. I want to try to do like thin to herd a bit, as they say, or I don't know. I just want to make it so that it's not so crazy in here, and so I can actually move around and function and get things done. I gotta get Cece's guitar. I think I'm gonna send it to Ryan. I think I'm just going to have him complete that build, because I just don't have time for it. Really, the whole point of wanting to do that now, I've had it for probably a year and a half or more, was experience of doing the work on it. But I've got two other guitars I can do that with that are mine, and I just haven't had time. And those ones I don't have to paint, which is a problem that I didn't get around to painting it this year like I had hoped in the summer. And now it's getting too cold to paint outside. So I think I'm just going to send it to Ron, just so he can get it. Even though the whole idea was for me to like shoot video of me doing the work on it and all this stuff. Ron can do that. He's retired. He has time. Yeah, he has that dungeon, the guitar dungeon, I call it, the dungeon. Yeah, not yet. Maybe Monday. Well, yeah, you should have gotten it by now. I think I sent it out on Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. Man, I think I sent it out last week. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of odd. Anyway, you should have it by now. Yeah. But let's talk about Jason Becker. What do you guys think? Yeah, Greasy Monkey is also here. What's up, Greasy Monkey? What's up, dude? Greasy Monkey Guitars. Who else did I miss? Here he is. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, he's a ripe 63, right? Yep. And I have decided, I was talking it over with my sweetie. I have decided that we're going to probably stick it out here in the apartments a little longer, maybe another 5 years or so. Even talk to the ownership about it, because I'm going to go back to school and finish my degree at my ripe age of 59. Because I never think it's too late to it's not just about learning, but to realize one of your dreams. I've been inspired not just by Jason Becker, but by others as well. But definitely inspired by Jason Becker. The passion that he has, not just for music, but the love that he has for people. And how this man who, at the young age of 20-something, right, came down with, right when he was about to go on tour with the David Lee Roth band, replacing Steve Vai, right? And he's just such an inspiration as a player at that young age to be, as good as he is. Yo, yeah, what's up, dude? There's my buddy Johnny Bean. Pop in if you want. I just saw your WhatsApp. Yeah, you're at Pete's. Right on. Yeah. I have my own little coffee here that I made. It's not Starbucks this time. It's something else. We got. My sweetie bought some other brand of coffee. I'm not even sure what it is. She says it's organic, so I'm like, okay, it's all right. It doesn't have that. The Colombian medium roast, man, that's the stuff that I love it. It's just got the aromatic nature of it. It's got all the right stuff in it. Yeah. All right on. Oh, that's very cool. And MNCO123 just gave me a guitar. Do you play guitar, Leland? Leland? I'm saying Lydian? Lydian, right? Lydian. Is that like a play on words with Lydian scale? Probably, right? Anyway, yeah. So obviously Jason Becker, another one of those guys who used that kind of a scale quite a bit, just like Randy Rose did. We were talking quite a bit about if I know my modes, which I don't. Lydian, which one is that? Isn't that the one that has like okay, let's look it up. What is the Lydian scale in music? So it's a major scale with a raised fourth, or augmented fourth, as they would say, above the tonic. It's similar to the major scale, but with a distinguishing feature of a raised fourth. Well, they keep saying that same thing. So let's do that. Let's see what that sounds like on the keyboard. So that would be, that almost sounds like a minor thing, right? Now that's minor C, right? Major, minor, Lydian. No, wait. Oh, okay. It's the... Yeah. Well, sounds a little Simpson-esque, right? Oh, it's the Jetsons scale. Right. It's the Jetsons scale. That's how you memorize it now. Oh my God. So yeah, what's up everybody? So Jason Becker, man, back to Becker. Man, that guy can bend him. Jason Becker can bend a string. Anyway, what an amazing, inspiring young man that's now 55, living with ALS now for, I think it's been 35 years. Let's see. How long has Jason Becker lived with ALS? 30 years, over 30 years. Okay, so diagnosed in 1990, so at the age of 22. Yeah, man, so 32 years, right? As of, yeah. And doctors at the time told him that he would probably die in 3 to 5 years, right? And though ALS has robbed Becker of his ability to play the guitar, walk, and speak, he, however, remains mentally sharp and continues to compose music. Speaking of which, coming out soon, Strawberry Jams, his new album, created by the man himself, using, you know, not the magic of, but the science of technology, right? And perseverance, right? That's the other side of the story that I really want to tell, you know? He never let it get him down. I mean, I'm sure it was a bummer. It really, I mean, everyone gets bummed out. You know, everyone can have a bout of depression due to something, right? But he was in many ways blessed with a really loving family, a woman in his life who I met as well at the event that we went to. So I did meet Jason via FaceTime, but not person to person. And I think that's better. There's still, you know, all kinds of stuff going around out there. COVID's still out there. I mean, COVID's not gone. It's out there. It's like a virus, you know. It's never disappeared. It's just we've all been affected by it. And someone like Jason, if he ever came into contact with a virus like COVID, it could be pretty deadly, you know. But he's in good health and all. But yeah, the way that they're keeping his body alive and everything, it's fascinating. You guys check it out. I'm gonna put there's some links that I put in last week's show, but I'll go ahead and copy some of those links and put them into this show, because it's just absolutely amazing how they've just never given up and just, you know, keep things going for that guy, you know, and he keeps things going for them. That's what's so amazingly inspiring about Jason Becker's life, is that it's not like they're doing it because they feel sorry for him or something. He's actually still contributing, just like if he was alive, to the world through music. The passion that he has and the purpose that he continues to have in life, even not being able to use his body. And if you ever heard or read the story about Stephen Hawking, right, the famous physicist, he also said that he really started to take science and his, if you want to call it, genius seriously after he developed the disease, because he says, I can't, he wanted to, have a purpose for living, and he felt bad that he didn't take life seriously before enough to be a better student or to really give back. He was kind of, he admits he was an arrogant, kind of pompous guy. And afterwards, he really started to make a difference in the world through the science of physics. And it's another reason why I'm wearing this shirt today. Science is true, whether or not you believe in it. It's not about belief. It's about proving things, and things will change. Science is never static. One thing that if people don't understand about science, that they should, just like with Jason, science told him, hey, doctors told him you're going to live 3 to 5 years at best. And he says, no, we're going to find other science that's going to prove you wrong, and that I'm going to live to be at least 55, if not more. This man is out. How old was, okay, let me look this up. Edward Van Halen. Let's see. Does it say? Oh, I looked it up on YouTube and stuff. Edward Van Halen. How old was Edward when he passed away? 65 years, right? So he lived to be 65 years. So Jason, I challenge you to live longer than Edward Van Halen. And I think you can do it, man. If anyone can, it is Jason, right? Yeah. And if you haven't seen his documentary, Not Dead Yet, well, that's definitely for sure. And that was back, a while ago. When did they do that movie? Jason Becker, Not Dead Yet movie premiere. 2012, man. 2012. So that was what? 12 years ago. Oh, look who we got here. Johnny could speak a little bit about the man, the legend. Oh, why are you muted?
There we are.
There you go.
Okay. I just had to call in because what you're saying is really bizarre.
Why?
Okay. Jason
Why
is
bizarre?
Alive.
That's what I said.
You just said he's not alive. I heard you.
I did not say that.
You said something like he was alive. He is alive.
What do you mean? I didn't say that he's not alive.
Rewind the tape. I heard it.
Okay, I don't know. I think maybe it was misconstrued.
And
but
also,
go ahead.
One other thing.
I'm talking about his inspiring
right
people.
I just got a notification.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? Hey, buddy, great fan here. Working on recreate Ace Kramer Ripley. Oh, somebody.
I was talking about Stephen Hawking.
I got some message. What?
I was talking about Stephen Hawking.
Oh.
That he's not alive anymore.
I
was talking about,
I think he is.
No, he's not. Stephen Hawking is no longer with us. No, Stephen Hawking is no longer with us.
Janice, can you look that up?
I follow a lot on about physics and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, my eyes are red.
He's talking about. Talking about the
Stephen Hawking, alive? Question mark.
Hawkins. Oh, Justin Hawkins?
Not he's Justin alive. Hawkins. Justin. Oh my God.
He just came out with some new guitars, man. I thought this was a
wait a minute. Yeah. He lived till 2018. At the age of 76, he passed away. Stephen Hawking. The longest. That's why now Jason Becker is the longest living ALS survivor so far. Yeah. You remember that guy, right? Anyway, go on, Johnny. Continue.
I'm here in front of Pete's Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
About to go in. And what? So I don't know about tomorrow. Are we supposed to hang out tomorrow?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. You want to check out those Jex Tellus pedals?
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay.
And bring your Randy Rhodes pedal so I can compare mine to yours. I want to see if there's really a difference in the output. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, bring it. And bring your Steve Vai mini amp too, so we can compare those too.
Oh. Where's
do
is
all that.
Janice here? Send me a tweet.
Janice is
reminding me
not.
about all this stuff.
She's not. She's watching. What's his name? Xander.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
You
on
know,
Twitch.
she's totally into the Xander thing. So
on Twitch.
you can't
Oh,
get her
that's-
off the Xander. She's even while she's on the show, she'll be with the earbuds listening to Xander.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But tell me about Johnny, your experience with Jason, because you met him at one of his birthday parties, or was it an event? That when you first met him?
I first met, that clip I play all the time?
Yeah.
That was the day I first met him. That was in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
That was at his birthday party. And, my buddy Dave took me over there.
Yeah.
Because for years and years, I mean, going back to 1995, I first met Dave Lopez. Here's a quick story for you guys. I met my friend Dave Lopez at Alex Skolnick's house for his birthday. This is where it gets very confusing. And then I meet Dave, and he tells me, "Oh, I work at a rehearsal studio." Oh, okay, cool. I'll come check it out. It's called Soundwave Studios. Everybody rehearsed there back in the day.
Yeah.
Third Eye Blind.
I've heard of that place.
Estimate had a rim there. And then Dave's band, Flipside, they started from there. They went on to do, a song for the Olympics.
Very cool.
Or that song Someday. Look up Flipside Someday. You guys have all heard it. It was a huge radio.
Flipside Sunday.
No, Someday.
Oh, Someday. Okay,
yeah, it was a huge radio hit back in 2005. So
Flipside.
So yeah, SYDE.
I found that out.
This guy's talking a lot. Not you, this guy in this car over here.
Well, I do too.
I know, but this guy's really talking a lot. This guy in this car.
Is he like talking to somebody on the phone in this car?
No, there's another guy.
Okay.
There's like
all right, continue the Jason story.
So anyway, so I end up rehearsing at the studio for years, Soundwave Studios. Dave comes in one day after a session, and this is back in 1996, and he tells me, "Hey, guess what? Eddie Van Halen was just over at Jason Becker's house." And in 1996, being the mega Van Halen fan, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "Whoa, no way!
Whoa,
Edward Van Halen was just in Richmond." Because for us, that's just next door. You know this, right?
Yeah. We were just there.
We were there.
We were there.
Yeah. So I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that. And then what happened was Edward had recorded some stuff for the Jerry Lewis telethon with Jason. You can look that stuff up on YouTube. You can see it. So anyway, so he was there. He gave Jason a guitar. He signed it. And then, eventually Jason told us about that video years ago. Finally, they put it out. So we got to see it, right? Of Edward at Jason's house playing the guitar.
Yeah. You guys can look that up. We can maybe put that link in the description.
So, yeah. So anyway, for years, I've always known about Jason, around here. And then in 2010, my friend Dave Lopez takes me over there, and I get to meet him for the first time. And I would go over there like every year, every couple of years, at least, once every couple of years or whatever. I'd go over there for birthdays or some special event. And then there was always all kinds of events too, shows for him. Not Dead Yet is a series of fundraisers, benefits for him. And the very first one was featured in that documentary, Not Dead Yet, which you saw.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of other stuff on him. Like just recently, there was a happy birthday video put out with a bunch of rock greats that actually worked on the Strawberry. Yesterday? Is that the one that I just watched?
No, they released one yesterday. And there's photos. Well, check it out. You'll recognize it.
Yeah.
It was from the event.
Oh no kidding. Cool. All right, let me check it out. Jason Becker. There it is. Jason. Well, will it come up under Jason Becker? Let's see.
Yeah. Go to his Facebook page.
Yeah. Oh, Facebook. Okay, I'm looking it up on YouTube. Wow.
Yeah. By the way, hello.
He does have a new album coming out, so he's gonna be. Do you know when that's coming out? Do we have a date on that yet?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do not.
So, I was talking a lot about the passion that Jason not only has for music, but for the love of people, and how he isn't there like a quote of him saying something like, he's almost a better person because of ALS, because now he's given to more people than he might have ever been able to give to and inspire through music by being someone that he is, showing them that even with ALS, he's still, has purpose in life and composing and
Oh,
living
crap.
and loving and all this stuff,
Sorry, this car just rolled over this parking.
Oh my
bump.
God.
Now the guy's looking. He went
Uh,
to drive straight.
Don't look.
He went
Yeah.
to drive, and now he's looking. Look, I was like,
Look
oh
at
no.
Jason Becker. What was it? What was the? I have it here somewhere. It's the Creative Care project, right? I'm going to put
Yeah.
Creative Care in. Is that fairly new, or has that been going on for a while? Like,
I think that's new.
Okay, Care project. So
The event
that
we
was
were
kind
at
of
a week ago, last week.
yeah. I'll just pop that in. Jason
But-
Becker.
But yeah, they just released a brand new little video. I think it was yesterday or the day before. It would be on his Facebook page.
On his Facebook, okay. Because 9 months ago, they put out the Some Assembly Required song that he wrote that was played by a number of great guitarists, from everyone from Jennifer Batten, obviously Steve Vai, Marty Friedman,
okay. Yeah.
Laurie Basilio.
I heard that like a couple of years
Nina
ago.
Strauss. This came out 9 months ago. They put this video together.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Jason
heard
Becker
when
and
I
Friends.
was at his birthday party a year ago, July, they were
Mhm.
playing that.
I'll
showing
put it
a
into
preview
the.
of it.
Very
It
cool.
wasn't done yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, I remember they were playing as a preview, and the guy was saying, he's like, here is where Steve Vai will solo.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, over here.
Over here, yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
And then
Funny.
and then here, so and so will solo here. So I heard it before, like the solos were even on it.
Very cool. Yeah. So, part of what I wanted to talk about today, part 2 of Jason's story, is the story of him with ALS, and still, not still, but just continuing to be an inspiration as not just a genius guitar player and guitarist, but a composer, but continues to inspire people, through his passion for music and for people, and how he's never given up on life, which a lot of people might, once you find out you're going to die. And, most people probably would try to fight it, right? Most people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to beat this. It's not going to happen. And, they're going to do everything they can. But like our friend, my friend, I met him, and I can call him a friend because he called me a friend, Lance. We all know him as China Guitar Skeptic, China Mike. He called himself Mike for the show.
I met him.
Yeah, you met him too, right?
I met him at the NAMM show.
the
I
NAMM
remember
show.
shaking his
Yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Super cool guy.
This was years ago.
Such a cool guy. And he came down with ALS, and boy, it tore him up fast. I mean, within a couple of years, I think within a couple of years, he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really tough for him. And I always think about him because I wonder, what was it about how badly the disease got him compared to, and like with Jason, I'm sure he looked into everything just like what Jason and his family were doing to try to keep him going.
Well,
and he was a
do you
big
remember-
guy too.
Do you
He's a
remember
really
what
big
that guy told us at that event? The guy that helps with him, he told us that he really believes it's Jason's diet that's really what's helping him.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a huge part of it. Yeah. I think Lance, I think part of it was he couldn't be who he felt he, wanted to be. I think there was that part of it. And I think he didn't want to be a burden to his family. And I think he felt like if he was going to be the center of their attention to keep him going, they would lose all their direction in life. I don't know. That's just my, that's just what I think. It might have just been that they just didn't have the wherewithal, they didn't have the things they needed, to make it happen. And it could be tough. I mean, last time I saw him was at Henning's at his Gear Street 4 event. And I'm so glad that his buddy Jake brought him down for that. They drove from England to Germany. Thank goodness for the tube. Yeah, they were able to drive, and it was great to see him. But I could tell, even though he was so happy to be there, I could tell that he was depressed. He was having a hard time, I think, dealing with the fact that he couldn't just be himself, and that could be tough, man. So that's another reason why I like to talk about how Jason found a way to break through that. And such a positive, even early on, before he knew he had ALS, he was like one of these, like a Van Halen type, that was just so joyful and so happy that he has this, not just gift, but he everyone works on it, Johnny. Nobody is born with the ability. You have to practice at it, and you have to play a lot, to get to the level of someone like Jason or Edward or anyone else, right? Yeah, that's right. He caught pneumonia. That's right, Blackjack Guitar. That is right. So there you go. So maybe he was fighting it all away, and he got pneumonia, and that was the COVID era as well. Keep in mind. So really, really tough. Yeah, you're right, Blackjack Guitar. Thanks for reminding me. So, that's the thing about Lance too. Is he didn't seem like a person that would give up on anything. So I'm glad that you reminded me of that, dude. Yeah. But like anytime you face something like this, looking at Jason as an example in life, we all have things that get us down. I get down too. Sometimes I can't do the things I want to do. I don't have time for things I want to have time for. It can get you down. Sometimes you can get a little upset about things, right? But you always try to squeeze in every moment, like what we do. We try to squeeze every moment in the day into the things that we're passionate about. And Jason's passion and his just persistence, not just to be alive, but to compose and do whatever, he has to get that music out, right? And he's just doing it, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. Still making music. Still,
right.
he's still him. He's still the same person that he ever was. That's the thing, is you don't. He's still him. So he still enjoys music, enjoys creating music.
Yeah, obviously. It's beautiful.
They came up with a way to do that. So there you go. But hey, I gotta run.
All right, go. You guys have fun. Enjoy the rest of the day. You too.
Rock your thumbs up.
Hit those thumbs.
Thumbs up, everybody.
There's one coming from Facebook right now. Look at that.
Right,
my buddy, I thought it was going to be Chris. It's my brother John Lingell.
Oh, hey.
Right on, John. Thanks, bro.
John,
if you're watching.
Thank you. Yeah, he thumbs ups a lot of my stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, right on. He's the best. Another inspirer of people. Keep inspiring. All right, rock on.
Yeah. Yeah. Later. So I'll see you guys later.
Pop in tomorrow.
I've got a video I'm making on my channel with the power supply that this company sent me. I gotta put that out later today.
That's very exciting, as a matter of fact, from what you told me about that power supply. I want one of those.
Yeah, it's a rechargeable power supply. It's cool.
For pedal boards, right?
That
one?
It's for pedal boards, but you can plug almost anything. You can plug your phone into it too.
Yeah, cool.
It's cool. So tomorrow?
Yeah, come by. Are you going to swing by Santa Clara Guitar Center first, or are you going to come straight here?
I can't, because if I'm coming there, I have to come straight there. I can't wait around.
Straight here.
Because Santa Clara Guitar Center opens at
11.
Then by the time I get up there, it's over. So
all right, put it on your list, Johnny. Randy Rhodes pedal, Steve Vai Spark mini amp.
Okay.
Bring them.
Bring them to me.
Bring them to me. All right, see you, man.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. The incomparable Johnny Bean, everyone. That's right. All right. So, you guys are talking about guitars in the chat. Very good. So, Blackjack Guitar says, my best friend also had ALS and passed away really fast. At least he didn't suffer. Yeah, right? Yeah. And I wonder what would happen to me if I got something like that. Would I find a way? I would. I'd do everything I could, but the thing is, it takes a lot. I think with Jason, they are very careful and they do everything they can to give him what he needs. And the diet is a big part of it. But yeah, if you do catch something like pneumonia or you catch a virus or you got to be super careful. And that's why he didn't come to that event, obviously. And we got to FaceTime with him and I got to say, hey, Jason, and not happy birthday, but hey, Jason, congratulations on the launching of the Jason Becker Creative Care Project, right? Which is not just for him, but it's for others too. They're trying to spread the knowledge that they've gained, right? 35 years ALS survivor, Jason Becker, right? Not dead yet, that's right. There you go. Check those links out. Email there. Jason Becker, CCP, creativecareproject.org. So jasonbeckerccp.org. If you know someone who has ALS or similar type of disease, I'm sure the knowledge that they've gained over the years of caring for him, they're able to spread that knowledge to everyone else. So maybe they can be fruitful, live long and prosper and all that stuff, right? Yeah. Very, very cool stuff. Yeah, and that's a very good quote there where they say, I love this, they say, in 1989, 20-year-old rising star hero Jason Becker was diagnosed with the amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, as we know, Lou Gehrig's disease, right? A neurodegenerative disease famous for taking people down in dizzyingly short time. Jason's response to this news and 5-year prognosis, in other words, prognosis of 3 to 5 years of life. He says, I have stuff to do. Catch you later, doctor. Not having it. Yeah, rock on, says Johnny Bean. Yeah, man. So what an inspiration, but the passion, and I like to talk a little bit about purpose. I think there's a lot of talk today, in today's era, of men not finding purpose in life and having a difficulty adjusting in this era. There's a lot of politics around it. There's a lot of other talk around it. I'm not going to get into that side of it, but take the example from Jason Becker here and find your passion and make it your purpose, and then it will magnify other purpose that you may not even know exists in your life. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't let your mind and all the negative thoughts that are in there overwhelm you, and surround yourself with positive people and supportive people, right? Yeah. And the thing is, Lydian, don't feel bad for him. He's living his life. He's fulfilling his purpose in life. He's making other people happy and he's inspiring other people. He's not a sad individual. He's actually a very happy guy. And if you listen to his music, you'll see it. You'll hear it in his music, I think that's one of the things, like my cousin Suzanne, who has MS, multiple sclerosis, another neurodegenerative disease, right? She doesn't like it when people feel sorry for her. She doesn't want people to feel bad for her. She suffers, and yes, it's good to acknowledge it, that she's suffering from something, so that you don't ignore the fact that, the reason why she can't come out and hang out with us and do get-togethers and stuff for the holidays or whatever is because she just can't get up and move around and do stuff anymore. It doesn't mean that she's doesn't have a happy life, And I think when people focus on the disease and focus on that defining who she is, she doesn't want that defining her. No more than Jason Becker wants ALS to define him. So he's redefined this disease for himself, right? So you do have empathy. Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I understand. All right. So don't get me wrong either, because I don't want to sound too preachy, which maybe I'm sounding right now, but yeah, it can be tough, and yeah, I mean, everything's different when you suffer from anything. It's going to change your ability to get things done in the time that you'd like to get it. That took Jason 5 years to put together his first. I think it took about 5 years for him to put together his first musical creation using the computer softwares and systems they had in the 90s. to be able to create another song again from beginning to end, right? I think it was like a 5-year process, is something that he said, but he never gave up on it, and he did it note by note, like that. Can you imagine? That must be a little mind numbing for someone whose mind is probably just as active as any other person's, right? Who doesn't have a disease, if we call normal or whatever, right? But I just want to talk a little bit, and let me get some perspective from you guys. What are your thoughts about this? I mean, to me, it's not just his passion, but like I said, it's that he's always found purpose in music. And why I talk about it on the Music is Therapy show is that music is one of those very special, if not the most special thing in our world, in our reality as human beings. We get to experience music in a way that is very special, at least to our perspective, right? And it's not just a right side, left side brain thing. It's the full brain action. Music is connecting parts of the brain that light up all at the same time. There isn't like a part of the brain where music is not active. Does that make sense? And it's really, he's got a lot of health problems. Yeah. Oh, and pain is really, okay. Absolutely. That, like my cousin too, she has a lot of pain with MS too. Yeah, it totally sucks, right, Michael B? Yeah. Pain sucks. Yeah, I'm a grumpy guy when I'm in pain too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, that's why I don't want to sound too preachy. Music is passion and light. Yeah. And I think godly. Yeah. It's a I guess we could call it, it's a very majestic, what's another good term for it? I don't get too religious, or I don't use too many religious words in regards to this kind of thing, because there's so many different kinds of religions, and I don't want to like turn anyone on or off to what I'm saying because of certain words I'm choosing. It's not about being politically correct. It's about inclusiveness, like including all rather than, excluding anyone. But yeah, there's a sense of music being something much more than just sound, if that's a good way to put it. Hey, Laz, says Holly Lewis. No worries. Better than late than never. It's almost the end of the show time anyway, but I'll go 10 minutes long because I kind of started 10 minutes late. So it's 10:58 according to my computer's timer here. Here in California, for you guys out in the East Coast and wherever you're coming from, could be a completely different time. But yeah, music gives light to us. That's right. Gives us a way to see and feel, right? When we are lost, for being a burden. Yeah. And that's what's beautiful about music. It can take you away. Yeah, I know you will, dude. Do that. Thanks, Holly. You rock. Yeah, but the thing is that's exactly right. Says Lydian to Ryan. Yeah. And I've heard of people, like, for example, that have arthritis, but when they play the guitar or the piano or whatever, suddenly it's not stopping them. They're able to play and do things, and music was one of those things that I used as a therapy for my dad too. It worked great with he definitely had Alzheimer's and some dementia as well, I'm pretty sure. He didn't know who I was, but he was happy to hear me play music, and whenever I came over to visit him, he was really, really happy that I was visiting him. I don't know if he knew who I was, but he knew I loved him, and when I played music that he recognized that was some of his favorite songs, he recognized that music, and he started la 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 and singing along to it, note to note, So I know that made a difference in his final days, being there for him with music, and do that for people if you can. And back to like Jason having purpose in his life, I think that we all struggle at some point in our lives, if not throughout life. We struggle, for purpose, and we want to make a difference. We want to leave a legacy, and that's definitely being done by Jason. The guy is leaving a legacy like no other, right? So yeah. Oh, let's read this about Michael. Okay, Michael says, got together with friends and played last night. Isn't that great? Yeah. Music, friends, and fun. It's so rejuvenating. Indeed. Yeah, it's rejuvenating. Rehearsal for my real band today. Right on. Do you still have the same name, the band name? I'm trying to remember it. So that's one of my problems is I don't have a very good memory on things. I forget things. Yeah, it's too much. But yeah, if you're inspired by someone like Jason Becker, someone like, as we know him, China Mike, guitar skeptic, China guitar skeptic Mike Lance. If you're inspired by people like them, get out there, get involved, take part in some of these organizations if you have the time for it. It might give you purpose, right? And that's another thing about that, is that when you do, yeah, that's right, Melancholy Circus. That's the name of it, yeah. The Melancholy Circus, just a play on words. Well, it's a kind of an oxymoron in a way, right? But at the same time, it's not, because you see a lot of clowns that actually have the sad face, but then they'll do the happy face, but they always have that little tear. Great name for a band, by the way. Great band name. Yeah, I forget a lot of things. Yeah. It'll come to me eventually. It's not, and I think that's happening with age and all the things I put my body and brain through growing up, But yeah. I can't wait till the next time I get to play something live. I mean, the last time I played something live with a band of sorts was at the event for the Halloween thing at Gallagher's, where I played like 10 or 12 songs, mostly on keyboards, one on guitar, which was great to get to play guitar live in front of a crowd. Yeah. What show is this? It's the Music is Therapy show, Holly. Yeah, we all have purpose, right? Some of us, that means setting a bad example. Yeah. Well, the kind of purpose, you're making jokes, I know. But some people find their life aimless. There are a lot, like I was talking about young people today and young men. There's a lot of suicide nowadays because of people not finding their way, not having a reason to live. Like they don't feel like there's a purpose for them. And that's usually what you'll see on someone's note too. Like if they leave a suicide note. And by the way, in my description, I have how to get in touch with the suicide prevention hotline. If you or anyone you love, just need someone to talk about. If you feel unhappy, you need someone to talk to because you're really getting down. Call this number. Let me put this on. Let me put this on the show here because I have it in every description for this show. And I'm very passionate about this. I'm so passionate about it that, as I've said earlier in the show, I'm planning to go back to school and finish my psych degree and start really getting more involved in doing what I really want to do, which is help people. And there you go. Hopefully that's not too wordy. There you go. Suicide Prevention Lifeline, right? Don't hesitate to call. 888 in the U.S. Is it? Oh, hashtag 888. Okay, that's even better to know. I should put that in my descriptions from now on. Let me go ahead and change that. You can just hit hashtag 888. Thank you. See, that's what's so great about Michael B. You're awesome, dude. When are you going to come back on the show? When do you want to come back on the show? I want to have you on the show again. Let's talk about some of the stuff you're up to. Hashtag 888. There you go. I'm going to put that in there. It's going to be on all my descriptions now. Yeah, so he is a miracle of humanity, and he's creating that miracle. And I think that's what's beautiful about this, and why I wanted to talk about this a second time, is that you can be a miracle too. We all are miracles, but you can be a miracle to others in a way, right? By doing what you do. You are a miracle. Right? Being surrounded by people who love him most and certainly helps him keep going. Yeah. Love is very important. Yeah. Isn't that what's really great? Right on, dude. Just let me know what works for you. I don't know if this time of day is good for you or not, if you want to come on this show again. And I've got the gear and demo show on Thursdays if you want to do a gear or demo kind of a thing. You might have some new gear as well, right? I've been showing off the Randy Rhodes and some other pedals that I got in the mail recently. I might be getting some other ones as well soon, which will be cool. So it'll be great to have you back on, dude. Yeah. And someday I'll visit you out there in Boston, right? You're close to Boston, or are you in Boston? I know you're close to Boston, right? It's the memory there, trying to remember all these things. But yeah, so, tell me in the chat here. I will message you. Okay, right on. So tell me in the chat, so who was somebody that inspired you early in life? And me at the ripe age of 58, I'm still being inspired by people like Jason, people like even my buddy Johnny Bean inspires me. We've got even we've got even my wife inspires me at times, right? We find inspiration all around us, right? Oh, did you really? Boomster? It's a great pedal, isn't it, dude? Yeah. That's a, that was the first pedal that I bought since the 90s. Oh, wait a minute, that's a lie. I think the first one was the Mojo pedal, because Henning Pauly, he was the first YouTuber influencer that started giving me gas. Bastard. He's constantly giving me gas, that guy. Anyway, yeah, it was the Mojo. And then of course then it was the Dark Matter. If you've never seen his way more lengthy and in detail video of those two pedals, check them out. They're both great pedals for the money. For a $40-$50 pedal, you can even get them. I don't know how cheap they are now on Reverb, but they're great. Yeah. Oh no. Well, Holly, if you're watching YouTube, just go into your YouTube channel or your YouTube, right? And look at your history of what you watched, and you can find it that way. Sometimes that's how I find things more quickly, because I'll just scan back to the day that I was watching or listening to something, and I'll find it there. Yeah, it does have serious mojo. Yeah, so Mojo is another great TC Electronic pedal. Back when they had that guy Tor working with them. I think he really directed that company to do a lot of really great stuff. Oh, they were on Apple something. Okay, on Apple. Okay, Apple podcasting. Yeah. Oh, you gave him that dark matter pedal. Can't say that, dark matter pedal. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah. Okay, you had a math teacher in 10th grade. I had a science teacher that was like that too. I had a math teacher in 10th grade. My 9th grade science teacher was Mr. Burke, very inspirational guy. He said, I'm never checking to see if you did the homework, because your test results will prove whether or not you understood the material. Yeah, that's what's funny about the modern era's way of teaching. I think it's the academic system that we still have in many ways is I think based off of a military style of thing. It's not like, my wife works at a Montessori school, and totally two different things. She struggles a lot with a teacher helper of hers. Well, I think they're both the same level, but my sweetie has many more years of the Montessori method than the other one. And the other one actually did her studying during COVID, so it was all online. So she didn't have any in-person experience doing a lot of the work that they have, these little things that they give out to the kids, or they have on the shelves for the kids to go and explore the classroom, find things to do. And they have all these specific types of works that are set out there to inspire them, to challenge them, to build confidence, let them discover on their own and learn on their own, because then it develops that sense of confidence. And the purpose of that schooling or type of schooling is to develop the child's bring out their full potential, find their weaknesses and strengths, and work on both, right? Not just one or the other, but work on both. Help them develop where they're weak, develop that and get stronger there, but continue developing where they're strong, and to help them realize their full potential. If we had schooling done that way, where the older kids are helping the younger kids learn, and it's not like classrooms separated by age, but in a more like a village, kind of like in a group setting where the older ones are helping teach the younger ones, and it's not about some teacher lecturing or telling them what to do or sitting them down and trace this and draw this and do this and setting tasks out for them to complete, whether they can fail or succeed at. Right? If you had a schooling done in a way where it just the purpose of it is to help people realize these little humans to help realize their full potential, they actually will realize more of it, and probably realize potential that they didn't even know existed. And then there's no ego involved when it comes to the teacher's egos of being surpassed by the student. If anything, that should be every parent and teacher's dream, is that their student is surpassing them. When one of my teachers, and when I had a half a dozen lessons in my life, maybe at the most, maybe 10 lessons throughout my entire life musically by an actual music teacher. And one of them recognized pretty quickly that, oh, you're not even reading that, are you? You're how are you doing this? You memorized this? And I'm like, yeah, I've played it once. I've read it. I don't need to read it again. I know the story, and she's like, yeah, but you got to know the notes for notes. I'm like, well, am I making any mistakes? And she's like, no, because I recognize looking at the first line, that's how music notation is set to be the way it is. It should be kind of like when you're going to read a speech. You have a few first words or something at the heading, and then you kind of know the rest, right? You remember. It kind of triggers the memory. And for me, that's how it works. So I saw the first few notes and I knew which one that is. I saw the first few notes. I'm like, oh, okay, that's this one. And then I saw the next one. But she was trying to teach me to be a note reader. And so she says, well, you need to learn how to read notes and play reading notes. And I'm like, well, once I've read it, though, I won't need to read it again. And she's like, no, you'll see. There's more complex stuff that you're going to really, you're going to need to read it every time. And I'm like, well, I see people playing at the symphony. Oops. See people playing at the symphony where they're not reading anything. The virtuoso pianist doesn't read it. They're playing it. And they don't even need to read it anymore, right? They know how everything's going. The conductor is conducting, and it's a feel thing at that point. Once you know it, you're kind of feeling the rest of the way. It's like swimming or bicycle riding, anything. Once you learned it, you know how to do it, right? And then you can get up to higher levels, right? You can get to different levels of all this stuff. And then the more complex, let's say, tricks you do off of a diving board, the more you have to really process that. Visualize it. A lot of people use music for this stuff, right? No, I don't. I didn't. I heard you play. Yeah, no, I'm not looking up any notes for any of that stuff, dude. So throw another one out. I mean, if I can recall how the melody goes, I can just play it. I actually played this song for my mom one time, and she's like, "How do you know that song?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I just remember the song from back in the day. The Hungarian Balls, this band used to play this song that she used to tell me that the guy wrote for her, right? He probably told all the girls that, because that was the one song he always played that he wrote. And she's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I remember it. So there could be a song that I've never played before, like many times, that I'll hear in my head, and I'll know the melody, and then I can, from the melody, I know where the key signature, the key dominant notes or the dominants are, right? So in this was the first one. You guys all know that, right? As a kid, that was the first song that I started to figure out, oh, I can go. I just started goofing on it. I just started coming up with other. I would just mess around with all different kinds of variations of that. I would just goof. I'd just keep coming up with different variations of Heart and Soul. And I kind of figured out, oh, okay, this is the one. Right? Then you have the. And from what I discovered was, okay, if this is the one, then the next one is in the major scale. So you got the 1, the 3, 5, 1 again, right? And from there I could figure out what were the intervals. That's the 3rd, the 5th, 6, 7, back to the 8, right? So I figured 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So then you know what's the 1, what's the 3, what's the 5, and the 1 again, or the 8, and then you have the 7, and you have the 13, and whatever. I figured out what all those things were, and then I figured out, okay, so where does the melody go? And I figured out this was the 5. Then this was the 3 of the A, the 5th of the F, the 3 of the G, and then it was also the 5th of the G. Then it went back to, this was the 3, now it's the 5th of the A, the 6th, 7th, and 8th of the F, I should teach this method, really. I need to do a video series on how I figured out music and how you can let the melody lead you. Figure out where the bass line's going. And if you make a mistake, you can make it work for you. Right? But back to the practice side of where you're not born with this talent, right? I had to do all those scales. I had to learn them in every. I can't even do it anymore because I don't do it often enough. Yeah, I had to practice all the scales and learn major and minor and all this stuff. I had those books where you just do all these scales, doing all these exercises, right? For hours I would do them on the piano. And so you have to develop it. So Jason, anyone else, Johnny Bean, Ed Van Halen, whoever, you're not born with the thing. You have, maybe you have an innate ability towards it to some degree. There's some genetics involved in that. But then you got to work on it and develop it out, right? That's why I suck on guitar in comparison to the keyboard, because I know the keyboard backwards and forwards to a degree, at least to my abilities, right? Whereas on guitar, I'm way more lost. Yeah. Okay, what are you guys writing about here? Yeah. All right, let's get back to what you guys, and I'll say goodbye to you all. Go back up here to Holly in my podcast, something. Yeah, giving gifts is an amazing feeling. I know how you feel too. I love giving gifts out as well. Yeah, hashtag dark petals matter. Holly. No, let's not get into that stuff. Yeah, so my science teacher, Mr. Burke, was very inspirational to me. I learned like what 100 different rocks names were because of that guy. Like just by looking at him on the sidewalk, I knew what kind of rocks they were because he inspired me to love science. Right? I love science. I loved it before that too. I was into astronomy and all that kind of stuff. I love the stars, and I wanted to be a rocket, like an astronaut, a rocket builder, rocket rider, whatever you call it. Man. Yeah, the latest Bogus Sodas one. Yeah, I gotta listen to that. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Every time I start it, then someone calls me or something happens, and I go, it's been a busy. I couldn't even get around to chatting with Ron the other day I wanted to talk to him about CC's guitar. I think I'm going to just send it to him to do it because the weather's turned here. I can't get the thing sprayed and done. So we'll come up with some kind of a deal. But that's going to cost me. See, and I was originally not wanting to spend any more money on CC's guitar than I already have. So we'll see what Ron will do for me here. I'm going to loan him my Randy Rhoads pedal for a while. And that's going to be payment, I think, in a sense. So Ryan had a nun in school who said she thought I could do anything I wanted. Was such a great help, right? I believe that's true. You can do whatever you want. As long as you're not hurting other people. As long as what you're doing is a good thing, right? Yeah. Not magnify your weaknesses. But that'll happen sometimes too, and I think that is what can happen to people, right? I think that is another side of this that we can maybe end this show on. A lot of the world, and even there's a side of your brain that's a protective side of you that tries to protect you from danger, right? That magnifies the negative sometimes to keep you safe, right? It's kind of like the Pink Floyd The Wall thing where the mom wanted to keep him inside her little wall and be safe from the world, right? That whole story, the Pink Floyd story. But yeah, I know what you know what I mean. I know Eddie. Yeah, and I got to get the studio hooked up, right? So we can do some of that music we were talking about. Like, how long does it take to do a song? Well, look at that guy. What's his name? Rob Scallon, right? Didn't they do an album in a day? So you can do it, man. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in education needs modern attitude and is most important. Yeah, I think we tradition is good, but just like in any tradition of any kind, right? Tradition is great. There's a lot of good things to tradition, but tradition's never been static. Human beings have been evolving, so our traditions adjust. What the heck is Halloween all about, right? Well, it's based off of All Saints Day for Christian people out there, right? But now we've made it non-secular. Now we all celebrate it in Halloween in America because it's supposedly a non-secular country, right? Where we try to accept all for who they are and let them have their freedoms in religion. That's one of the main reasons the United States became the United States, right? And so that changed. That's a tradition that's new, that's actually spreading throughout the world, and it's fun for kids and adults alike. Embrace the fear, right? The scary movies, the scary stuff, and it actually is a survival part of that too, is that when it comes to our fight and flight response, right? A lot of us push back against change because we don't want change because we're comfy, but sometimes appreciating and knowing how to handle change is good. It'll help you, deal with changes that can come at you and can help you, be more prepared, right? Yeah, I have a nephew and a keyboard, and I felt great. Cheers to you. And yeah, thanks, man. You gave your nephew. Yeah, I gave one of my nephews kind of a keyboard as well. Actually, it was my niece, and then I gave my other niece a guitar. Well, actually, she's my cousin's daughter, and helped guitar get into the hands of my adopted sister. I should just call her my sister. Mary's daughter's child. 2 children. I got an amp and for her son, and helped him set up his guitar properly, and then got a keyboard that a subscriber of my show sent to me. I gave her a keyboard so she and her brother can jam out together. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we got to the part about the reading notes. Second brother, Heart and Soul. Yeah, Heart and Soul. So that was the one where I started like doing jazz versions of it. I started doing classical versions of it. I started doing blues versions of it. So I tried to do like, how do I play that in a different style? And I would just do that too. And it just made that one song, I can play it in like a million different ways. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is really cool. And I was learning all this stuff about it. Play it like a bossa nova, play it like a merengue. I mean, you can do that. Once you like develop that You don't have a fear of, oh, I can't do that. No, it's more like, okay, how do I do that? That's the question you should ask yourself. Yeah, right on. I want to play more too. More guitar. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Right. Counterpoint. Yeah, right. Carswell Coat. Yeah. Point, counterpoint. Right. And you start to, like, I would do different left hands. That would inspire a different kind of right hand. Whatever. So it would inspire me to try to play a different left hand, and I would just make up stuff and try to make it interesting. And I never got bored. That's for sure. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all over the place, and you can change that with the alternative tunings. That's right, G. But no. So I try not to look at the guitar so much as what notes are where. I look at the guitar as in relation to what I'm playing, what's where. Yeah. So I don't know if that makes sense, and maybe that makes it even more tricky, but maybe not. I've always been like pattern recognition. That's one of the things we humans are good at, right? So you recognize that pattern. So on the keyboard, I recognize the 1, 3, 5 as a pattern, and then a minor is going to have a similar pattern, but with that that 1/2 note over to the left, right? And then you start recognizing patterns of other types of modes and scales, and I never memorized those things. I didn't get that far in theory. Yeah. And drums, there you go. Yeah, just listen to drums and you can play anything. And that's another thing too, having rhythm. Tap your fingers to the or tap whatever to the music, and get a sense of rhythm, and then get a sense of where the 1 is, where the 3 is. Sometimes you start on the 3, or you start on the 7, the 8th note, right, of a 4-beat scale, meter or whatever. So it's good to know the it's good to know where all those can be, so that you can then toss it in there once in a while. That's what I loved about Stuart Copeland and his guitar. His drum playing, is he would throw in something like that, and it's like, yeah. Very, very cool. That's what I love about jazz. Yeah. All right. I'm going to read all the way down to what all this is in here. People saying hi to G. What is that tune called? Yeah, that's the Heart and Soul song. Yeah. Yeah, guitar and piano is different, yet it's the same. Because they're both stringed instruments. We're all musically lost to some extent. Yeah, Jimmy Ray. I don't even consider it lost. So that's a glass half empty way of looking at things. Whereas I look at it more as, I just need to learn more. It's like, I've always talked about life this way. Life is like a jungle or a forest or whatever. And there's all kinds of stuff out there in that world, right? And sometimes it's good to have a guide to navigate you through, but they're always going on the same path. Maybe you miss out on some things. So you might not find that beautiful meadow, or that little hidden lake, or that waterfall over there, because you're always going the same path from here to there. So sometimes it's good to meander. There's nothing wrong with meandering and wandering. I think that's it's a good thing to learn. Like, I've never learned like the blues scale and learned but I can kind of play what sounds like blues with my ear. I just listen for it, right? So I recognize what blues is, and there's different kinds of blues, right? So it's good to meander. It's good to sometimes people get caught up in like, oh, it's got to be just like this, and like Ed Van Halen said, there are no rules, man. That's why they call it music theory. All right, there are no laws. Yeah, but yeah, it's a journey. Exactly. Travel down is a choice. All good, no matter musically. Exactly, man. Yeah. So you got Alex's book finally. Yeah. And I do not like the pages. Oh, you mean that's not like perfectly smooth at the edge? It's like choppy? Yeah. Well, yeah, be happy to have one, Holly. Accept the differences. You don't have to have it always your way, you know? It's okay. It's okay that it's not perfect. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, they are all laid out for you, but another bad part of it is that it is linear and it is a left and right thing, you know. And there are things you can do on a guitar that you can't do on a piano, that I miss about guitar. Like you can bend strings and do all kinds of cool things with a whammy bar and have different sounding, you know, how do you put it? It's not. It's kind of timbre, but it's also like when you play certain notes in an chord together. Like on a piano, you can go, you know. That's a C, even though it sounds a little bit out of tune. That sounds like C, and that over here shows C sharp. So this thing's out of tune. That sounds like a C to me, but if you looked at it, I'm playing a C down here on a white note, and here I'm playing a C sharp. So something's wrong with this keyboard. It's set up as Grand Piano DS, and something's off. I'm gonna have to look at how that thing is set up, but you get what I'm saying, right? So we're getting near the bottom. Yeah, the pages are cut for weird. That you see that in some books. They do that on purpose. I think it makes it cheaper for one. Yeah, yeah. To ancient Celtic, you know, festivals of Samhain, celebrated on November 1st. There you go. There's some interesting ones in other parts of Europe as well that celebrate a similar kind of thing around the same time, because that has a lot to do with you know, the astronomy, the cycle of the moon and the sun and things like that, solstices and whatnot, right? We taped a cover of Van Halloween too. Oh, okay, right on. That sounds like fun. Yeah. All right. Great to be here, able to share. Yeah, it is great to share the moments. Jimmy Ray Hawkins. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're going through the vault, and that is very exciting about the Van Halen future music to come out. Yeah, they're going to use AI and all kinds of stuff. I think it's going to be awesome. And yeah, Jazz Holbrook. Yeah, go check out Johnny Bean's channel if you guys don't know about Johnny Bean's channel. I think most of you guys know his channel. There's a bunch of stuff being released by a number of people, and Johnny's always really on top of the Van Halen stuff. I could play At the Hop on both hands. At the Hop, yeah, that's a good song. Walking bass line on the left hand and melody on the right. Yeah, man, that's that. If you can do that honky tonk kind of stuff, that's really, really cool. Yeah, right on, right on. No. Yeah. So am I wrong in thinking that most songs historically are written on piano as lead or some driven instrument? Well, usually it's going to be based around a melody or a feeling, or it could be drums. I think probably drums and flutes of some sort, kind of a stringed things might have come later. I'm thinking, because I think they found pretty far back in human, you know, where they dig up bones and whatnot. Archaeologists have found flutes and things like that made of bone, and those are the ones that they most easily have found. Skins wrapped, you know, over tree trunks to make a drum, you know, so things like that. Hollowed out tree stumps and things like that. So percussion for sure. The piano itself didn't really become an instrument until much later because of how complex it is. Probably the most complex instrument of all in the classical world, if you want to say most complex. And then, yeah, before that it was a harpsichord, right? So, yeah. And thank you. That is something that I think my family has, because my mom played the piano when we were all in utero with her. And we have there's definitely some genetic, you know, stuff going on there as well, passed on, because I've heard throughout. My dad was always humming a tune, and I remember one time he took a tree branch off of a tree and he created a flute out of it. It was really interesting how he did that, like this tiny little flute. So he just loved music, and my mom, being a piano player, she played by notation only, though. So she couldn't play by ear. And I was having an interesting conversation with my sister-in-law about how she learned how to play notation by notation only, and she can't play without it. So I feel sad for those people who can't just hear a song and say, oh, let me see, how does that go? So if you hum a tune to me, and if I'm like, oh, I know that song, and then it goes like this, right? And I figure out the melody. Then from that, I figure out where the bass goes. Then I just start putting a bass line to it, whether it's chords or single note, phrases or whatever. And you just have to follow, the bass has to follow the melody correctly, right? So you can't have, it has to be. So it has to be C. Can't be D. That sounds wrong. So you got to hear it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. That's how I figured out that this is off. That's correct. Now it's not doing it. Before it was. Now it's throwing me off again. Anyway, it sounds like it's a little bit off. Something's off to my ear. Yeah, way from the further I go here. That's not. No, that's sharp. That sounds slightly flat too. I don't know. It's weird. There's something going on there in the timbre. Something's not right to my ear. Maybe my ear's getting old. My ears. Yeah, and you can have a wheel on a keyboard like this one. Sounds like it needs to be a little sharper to my ear. Yeah, the glass half empty perspective. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing, is that's how you look at things, perspective, right? Well, I do have to end the show. We've gone extra long. Yeah, memorizing violin solos, another deal altogether. And that's what's been interesting recently. I've been on a Randy Rhoads kick, and Johnny Bean, and I were talking a lot about the difference between Ed Van Halen, who was classically trained on piano, but he's another one of those guys who had figured a lot of this stuff out because he heard his dad playing all the time, right? Practicing and playing a lot. And so they have music in the house constantly on, right, and going. And I think that has a lot to do with how he and Alex both developed an ear for music, whether Alex was more drawn toward the drums because he wanted to hit things, and he was more into the rhythm thing, didn't pick up on the guitar as quickly as Ed did, whereas Ed picked up on it pretty quick. And he also won, I think at a pretty young age, some competitions in playing piano. And he didn't know the notes either, like not properly. He memorized things. Once he played it, and then he could probably just improvise over things too, because then you get bored with the same thing. You just want to do something with it, right? So I got bored with, I wanted to go. And I would go all over the place with it, and I would play it up and down the keyboard and just mess with it, just to not be bored with it, I didn't learn another song. I did, actually, but that was the one that I really enjoyed messing around with. What else here? Yeah, you guys are talking about Slayer. All right, so we'll call it a day, you guys. Go check out Jason Becker's channel on YouTube. If that guy doesn't inspire you, and maybe it's too much for some people, that some of that music is very fast playing, but there's also some beautiful melodic stuff there too. There's a little of something for everybody there. The guy's an extremely inspiring individual. I hope you enjoy some of it. Yeah, the tritone stuff. Yeah. And I have some theories on why those sounds, and I've talked about it before in the show. I have some theories about why some of those sounds sound um, like something bad's gonna happen. So when we're talking about what Thrash is talking about here, you know, the tritones in the riff, whether it's the devil's music or whatever. I think there's reasons why. That's all right, Dan. Don't worry about it, man. There's always the rerun. Hit that like. That really helps me. Yeah, the dissonant sounds. There's a reason why dissonant sounds appear to us, or our sensing of it is something that frightens us, because that dissonant sound is the sound of things that are usually in nature. Let's say like the growl of a tiger, or of an elephant about to stampede, or the sounds of alarming sounds, right? These are alarming sounds to us because they are sounds of danger that we've experienced in nature. That's something I'm going to do my dissertation on. Is That's what I'm probably going to do it on, is how music that we've created is a reflection of sounds and music. um, we make music that are pleasant to us versus not pleasant to us, right? Based on our experience evolving on this planet from the sounds in nature around us, right? The cry of a baby wailing because it's hungry or needs something, versus the cooing and the baby talk and stuff, right? Which is more than happy feeling, kind of chirpy like a bird kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's all this. I'm going to go really deep into this in the next few years as I'm studying. Yeah. Invokes superstition. Yeah, superstition. Another creation of our human brain, right? Yeah, product of evolution. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. Or more than 200,000 years. Because they found humanoid bones 1,000,000 years old, right, Lucy? 1 million, right? All right, so we're going to hit. Oh, Janice is in the chat. Okay, doing okay. Just have meta overload. Yeah, take a break. Take a break from it a little bit. Get out there and walk amongst the trees and absorb a little bit of nature before it gets too cold out there. And it's also another good thing for us, right? So until next time, you guys, Music Therapy Laz here. Check out Jason Becker's music. He's got a new album out called Strawberry Jams. It's kind of like, his other music early on. His first two albums, I think, was Raspberry Jams and Blueberry Jams. And now he's got Strawberry Jams, right? Yeah, it was a previous species, but very, very close to right what we are, I think, from what I understand. That's what we're figuring this stuff out. Science evolves too with us as we get better understanding of things, right? But yeah, learned a lot from both. Thanks, man. Yeah, I learned from you guys as well, and I learned a lot from Randy and from EVH and from Jason. Now Jason's my next new, definitely not just a fan of Jason's, but I'm becoming a follower. Whatever you want to call it, man. I want to absorb some of that guy's energy, and I want to spread some of that guy's energy, right? Cheers, says Charles, right? Yeah, 3 to 2 million, right? Yeah, there you go, man. So we've been around for a bit, right? Yeah. Oh, right on. I got to look into some of this stuff more. Sometimes I just go off my memory of things, and who knows how accurately I'm saying some of these things, right? Thanks so much, Carswells, for joining us as well. Yeah, 3.2 million. I get you. Yeah, have a great day, everyone. Rock on. Lucy, if you guys haven't seen that movie, that's another one of my favorites, actually. A great movie. A very good, like, action thriller, right? Yeah. All right, man. So until next time, you guys, I often used to say in the past when I first started my channel, I used to say, the secret to tone is in your mind, but the feel comes from your heart. Put them together and rock with some friends, music, doing whatever you're doing, hitting sticks on stuff, whatever helps you rock out. And like as Dale says, thumbs up, subscribe, share, help me grow this channel to 1,000. If I can hit 1,000 before the new year, I'll give away a guitar. I said this last year and I didn't make it. So I'm still trying to break that 1,000. But it would be great to break that 1,000. Johnny Bean sends me a picture from having his Starbucks here. Wonder if I can share that, Johnny. Yeah, I think I can. Johnny Beans wishes you all a happy Sunday morning. Go get your Starbucks or Pete's. I think he's at Pete's. That guy used to be with Starbucks too. He broke from them. Yeah. So until then, you guys put that mind is the concrete part of you. The one that wants to narrow everything into a box. The soul, the heart, whatever you want to call that part of you is a subjective. You got to combine those two things, right? And rock on. And like Janice, get out there and do some jamming, right, Janice? Go out there and rock out with some other people if you can before it gets too cold. And we'll see you next time on the Gear and Demo Show, Thursday night at 7 p.m. here Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. That's the show I get a little more goofy on, and we rock out to some gear. As a matter of fact, Monday, Johnny Bean's going to swing by this way again to the Flying Pickle production studio. If you don't know who the Flying Pickle is, that's Roxy up there in the corner, in the right-hand corner of the screen to you there. Roxy was my little Pacific parrotlet, and she was so cool. And she flew away, and good for her. Maybe she's enjoying life out there in the great beyond, right? And she was accidentally nicknamed by Lewis the Tone King a pickle. She thought he was a pickle. He thought she was a pickle. And I'm like, no, that's Roxy. And somebody else said, no, that's a Flying Pickle. And so then that's where the Flying Pickle and Flying Pickle Productions or is it? Yeah, the Flying Pickle Production Studio. That's basically what this is. Flying Pickle Productions. That's what I like to call it. Just out of memory of her. And yeah. Rock on, you guys. See you guys next time. Oh, where's that thing?